What's up, you guys? Back with another video today. Today we are going to be talking about knowing your worth within your relationship, knowing your worth at your job, knowing your worth in a friendship. It's many different ways that you have to know your worth. In many different situations. Because knowing your worth and knowing who you are and what you deserve and what you want is very important in every aspect of life, especially entering into relationships. So for today, we're going to talk about knowing your worth in a relationship. So stay tuned and I'll be back. Okay. And excuse me, y'all. I'm in my bathroom. This is my quiet place. My house is so loud. Like I told y'all, I get my kids, my nephews, all of them. They be here with me. So my quiet place is my bathroom or either my closet. But alright, I'll be back after this commercial or whatever.
It's getting closer to midnight. I tried to get...
Alright, I'm back. So today we're going to talk about knowing your worth in a relationship. Like I told y'all before, I have been in my relationship for 23 years. And I know a lot about a relationship and knowing your worth. I have went through a lot in my relationship, as you should. It's all about, can you stand the rain? Can you stand my rain? Can I stand your rain? Can I accept your flaws? Can you accept my flaws? And not only that, knowing who I am in that relationship, what I will accept, what I won't accept, what I would do and what I won't do. So let's get on with it. All right, so knowing your worth in a relationship. When you first get into a relationship, some people don't show their true colors. You got some people hiding who they is, you know what I'm saying? To just get you and get to a certain point, then they won't bust out like, boom, this me. You know what I'm saying? That's how some people is, you know? Me and my friends, we had conversations like, so you gonna show them that side that you get? Like, nah, not yet. I ain't about to show that side yet. But listen, it's people out there that don't show their true colors just yet. So yeah, know your worth. So going into a new relationship, you are at a vulnerable state, especially if you're into this person. If you into this person, you at a vulnerable state. But don't get so vulnerable that you forget your standards. You forgot what you wanted in that relationship and what you was looking for in that relationship. Okay? You got to know, you got to remember that as time progresses, as y'all go on. You have some people, once y'all get in that relationship and you get at a certain stage, and you feel like you love this person or you mad crazy about this person, some people tend to lower their standard just to keep that person. You start accepting everything from that person just because you want to be with them. So you start changing your rules. You switch around your rules a little bit just so that y'all could make it, or y'all could stand, or you could keep that person. But that's where you lost yourself, right then and there. Do not below your standards for anybody. If he or she cannot stand the rain, then they gotta go. And it's important to keep your standards at high in the beginning, so that when it get to the middle, that they didn't know that you weren't looking for this. They know off top. Once they get in the middle, okay, they know off top. They can't even play with you that way. They can't do this, they can't do that, because you didn't lower your standard. And you already let them know off top, hey, I don't like that. No, that I'm not, no. So that way you won't lose yourself. You start losing yourself when you below your standards and allow that person in the relationship to do what they want to do. And that's not right. Keep your standards high to where you want them. And if they cannot accept it, then they have to move on. And you have to move on. Because I'm going to tell you, when the relationship is right and when it's for real, everything about you, that person is going to love. Flaws and all. Everything about that person, you're going to love. Flaws and all. Once you know you can deal with the flaws, it'll be okay. But keep in mind your standards. If you got to write down your standards, first, let's do it like this. Okay, say you go on a date with a person, okay? And y'all go on a few dates. And then after a while, the few dates become to something else and you feel like, okay, I want to go on a whole nother level with this person. I feel like you should do this. Know what that person are looking for in a relationship just as well as you. It's important to ask that person, what do they look for in the relationship? I feel like everybody needs to sit down with that person and both of y'all talk about your standards. What you allow and what you don't allow. If it got to be notes taken, take notes together. Sit down and talk about what you allow and what they don't allow. What you don't allow, what they don't allow. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Y'all sit down before it go to another level. That way, when y'all go to this other level, it wasn't no misunderstanding. You knew what I said I wanted. You knew what I said I liked. You knew what I said I didn't like. So therefore, if they're not meeting up to those standards, you right then and there say, hey, I'm gonna have to end it. We gotta end it. It's time to regroup. I can't continue on like this because you're doing what I asked you not. You're doing what I said I didn't like. You're doing what I said I wouldn't accept. So that's when your worth kick in. You knowing your worth. You know what you worth. You know you ain't cool with that. You know what I'm saying? You know that ain't what you about. You know that ain't good for you. You know what I'm saying? So that right then and there, before you get any further and deeper into it, it's already a set standard. Okay? So it is important to know your worth and know what you want in that relationship before it get any further. Because once you stoop to their level and stop making, exceptions for their downfalls and the things that you knew you weren't okay with, that's when you mess over yourself. That's when you lose yourself. You lose yourself, you lose your worth. Like I said, I've been in a relationship for 23 years. And a relationship is not easy. A relationship is a commitment. The same way you make a commitment to God, you got to make it's a commitment when you step into a relationship. Always pray about everything that you're going through. And also, when you first get into that relationship, also pray about that relationship as well before you enter into another stage. Matter of fact, pray before you take the steps to say, I'm going to be in that relationship. So you have to, excuse me y'all if I didn't just make sense just now. Like I had a little interruption. If you heard it in the background, I'm so sorry. I kind of was like trying to talk and remember what I'm saying at the same time, trying to hear what's going on behind me. Forgive me. But back to what I was saying. I was in a relationship and all right, so yeah, I'm still in my relationship, but I got to a point where, things that I wasn't happy with was happening. I knew that I wasn't okay with it, but I accepted it because I'm not going to say that I use my situation and stuff as an excuse, we ended up having, a child together and all of this. And I felt like, after we had that child together, I felt as if, he should have went on to another level of manhood and, adulthood. That's another subject we're going to get on about expectations. When you expect something from a person, sometimes you make an ASS out of yourself because you expected that, but that they ain't tell you to expect that, but you put it in your head. So okay, that's another subject. That's a whole up. Back up. That's another subject. Okay. But back to knowing your worth. It's important to know your worth, y'all. I look, that just threw me off. I'm so sorry, y'all. I got to regroup it in my mind. I'm so sorry. Like, it threw me off. I hate being thrown off. I hate interruptions because I do get thrown off. I get thrown off easily. I'm sorry. We'll go from here. I know that it's a lot of people out here in this world that deeply look for love, but they look for love in all the wrong places. You look for love in all the wrong places. You forget who you are. Don't lose yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Remember who you are. Remember what you want. So that when that person come to you and tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you don't deserve it, you gonna turn around and say, oh, yes, I do. Oh, I know. Who you talking about? Me? Nah, you ain't talking about me. Must talk about that okay, no, I ain't gonna do that. Must talk about that other person. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm good enough. I know I'm worthy. I know my truth. I know I'm that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna try to keep a cordial on here. So I not only want, adults to tune in. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the eyes of younger teens that is coming up and falling in love with these boys and these girls. And, for y'all teens, you are a teenager. Let me tell you where I messed up at. I was a teenager and I moved too fast. I had my baby when I was 17. I was 17 when I got pregnant, 18 when I had him. So I really didn't get to live out my teenage life. So it was a lot that, I went through in my mind and everything, I had lost myself because this is my kid's father. I'm a family person and I'm like an old soul, I felt as if this is the man I lay down with. And so if we had a child, so we got to make this work. We got to make this work for our kids. A lot of people can't stand that. A lot of people won't stand. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that a lot of these kids are being raised in households where, the parents are not together, But if y'all can stand and and could get it past each other flaws, it's a beautiful thing in the end. But just remember your worth and know what you are worthy of. You are worthy. All of us are worthy. All of us are worthy to be loved. All of us are worthy to be great. All of us are worthy to succeed. Know your worth. Hold on to it and never let it go. That way, when it comes to a relationship and the ending of a relationship, you don't lose yourself again because that person told you you wasn't worthy. You are not greatly to be praised. And always remember to pray about everything. God sees everything. As long as you did right by your relationship and you know deep down inside that you did everything right, you're going to come off the one on top. Not that because we're in a race, but you're going to come off to the one that you're going to be great. You're going to be okay. God is going to bless you over abundantly and exceedingly over whatever you desire because you did what was right. Okay? You will find love again. Sometimes you got to let it go and let it burn. But in the end, you're going to say, I know I was better than that because you knew your worth. Know your worth. Write it down. Meditate on it. read it so that way it's in your head. So when a person come at you with what you know, nah, I ain't cool with that. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Know your worth. It's important. And this is Know Your Worth, part 1, relationship status. Like I said, knowing your worth in everything, in all your walk of life. Remember to pray about everything first and let God guide you. All right, you guys. Part 2 be coming. Probably gonna do part 2 today. Hey, I ain't got nothing else to do. So, all right, thank you for tuning in. But remember your worth, okay? You are great. You are worthy of everything your heart desires. Okay? You are great and worthy. Know that. Tell yourself that. Prep yourself sometimes. I have to do it. I have to remind myself that I'm a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Alright, bye y'all.
It's getting closer to midnight.